Welcome to a Lifestyle of a Foodie, and I have my cousin here, Tamika. She's going to be my co-host slash guest today. So she decided to come over and show me how to make chocolate turtle. So pecan, caramel, and turtle from scratch. And I figured I should probably feed her, so I decided to make some ham fried rice. Okay, so Tamika, I want you to help get started with chopping the green onion. You can chop both of them. We're probably not going to use all of it, but some will be for garnish and some will work into the actual rice mixture. So I have 3 cups of rice that I actually pre-cooked. So the thing about making Chinese food or fried rice, you should always cook the rice in advance, like the day before or much earlier in the day, because the rice needs to be like, it needs to just really not be hot. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I made some and I put it in the freezer for a couple hours to try to speed up the process, and it turned out really good. So just so you know, it should always be made like the day before or earlier in the morning, but it has to be like have time to kind of just sit and be chill. If you make it while it's hot, it'll just be mushy and it'll be a mess. So that's an easy prep. A lot of people make this like in advance, like days in advance, because they know that their family likes to eat fried rice. So I am going to get started with the eggs first. So we have 3 eggs, 3 cups of rice, we have 2 cups of chopped ham, and this sauce, probably like a little bit more than the 4th cup of onion, sesame seed, oil, and red pepper flakes. My usual garlic, salt, onion powder, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And you can use whatever season you prefer. You can just do salt and pepper. You can always add like some fresh garlic if you want to add garlic. So, what? That was fast?
Oh, I do
that was
this.
Fast.
I do this.
Okay, so this actually wanted to show us how to make homemade hand sanitizer. The girl is Mrs. Clean, okay? So when she told me she made hand sanitizer and she wanted to come over and make some chocolate turtles, I was like, okay, I'm excited about this episode, and let's go ahead and get started with the rice. So you've already chopped the onion.
Oh, yes.
I am going to, can you go ahead and just like start stirring the eggs? It looks like I have a couple shells. I'm going to get those out. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get these eggs cooked. She's gonna scramble them and let them cook for a few minutes to keep them kind of soft, because they're gonna go back in with the rice. So yeah. I don't plan to do it because the ham already has its own flavor, and then we already have our little seasonings and the soy sauce and the sesame. So it's just a lot happening. And then I'd rather people add their own. You can go ahead and just kind of pour it in. I'd rather people add their own like soy sauce. I'll add some, and you can add more. So you can know what works for you. So again, that'll cook down, we'll remove it, and then we're gonna put the ham in with the onion. And this ham is already cooked, so it's not gonna take very long to just kind of like brown it and get just a little color. And then we are going to add the rice, the seasoning, some of the green onion, and just kind of toss it around. So we actually want this to be like high, really high, but not for the egg, of course. So I done made an omelet. It's okay. Yeah, because it'll be exactly. So we'll let this go ahead and cook down. Now I want to keep it nice and fluffy, and the oil is not going to hurt it because it'll actually help when we add it to the rice. Okay. So this is a favorite. I actually chose ham fried rice because, you know, my cousin is over, and this is like, I think like one of the things you kind of start out with when you get Chinese food, like as a kid, you remember getting like ham fried rice. Or chicken fried rice, yeah. And I think that probably was an upgrade. I think we all sorted out with like your parents ask you, what do you want to get? And you know, as kids, you have to split a box of rice, because we always have to split things. Yeah. Whenever I came over, because her mother, my cousin, has 5 kids, so when we came over to visit, it was always like, okay, like who y'all take y'all bath, y'all share that rice, you know, whatever.
And you get an egg roll.
Yeah, yeah. Everything has to be split.
God's plan. God's plan.
Remember. Okay, so can you hand me those white onions, Nico?
It's what we want life to be, and we can't always make those decisions.
We want them to be that way, but it don't always end up that way.
That's true. Because I didn't plan to have 7, and that was the best thing that happened to me.
Oh, I didn't plan to do a lot of things. I didn't plan to be on this cooking show.
Oh,
But I'm here.
I'm glad you came.
You know?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. I'm going to put a little bit of my little seasonings in. I'm going to go ahead and cut this up more because this should be like, most people use a wok, but I wanted to show you guys how to use it without a wok because you don't have to have 15 different appliances. You know what I mean? The other thing I want to say is you can also use like tofu to make, you know, fried rice. You can cube it up the same way. You would get like extra firm. And then you add your little seasonings and the tofu absorbs the flavor. I mean, you can, there's no wrong way to do it. If you want to use mushrooms, whatever you choose to use. A lot of people will add, we were talking about this earlier, carrots.
Peas and carrots.
Yeah.
That's buffet style, but it's healthier, but.
Yeah, I'd rather not have it. And I love my vegetables and stuff, but I mean, I have a certain way that I like to eat rice, and I do like, and I didn't get a chance to get it, bean sprouts. So that's something I do like, but I didn't have a chance to get it before today.
But it's like any other recipe. You take the recipe and you make it to how you want it. You make it work for you.
Exactly. And that's what, you know, this is about, you know, just, I'm here to inspire you guys to make meals and find a, you know, cost-effective way to make it and to, you know, like I said before, to just revamp some of your favorite meals and this is starting to cook down. So, I am going to just give this a chance to cook down and get the ham nice and toasted. And we're going to refresh. We're going to add the green onion in when I add the rice and the soy sauce and everything. And then we're going to go ahead and just like top off our cocktails, okay? Okay, so now let's taste the ham fried rice. I want you to go first.
Oh.
Okay, so we've added a little more green onion on top for garnish.
And it looks really good. Oh my gosh, I am so jealous of this.
More soy sauce, right?
For you, maybe. I'm okay.
Maybe I am real heavy on the salt because
I'm okay. I can do without the salt.
And you can taste the sesame seed oil. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain aroma and it gives like a authentic Chinese food type of taste. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. This good.
Okay. So we are going to, we've already topped off our drinks. We're going to go ahead and finish with our rice, and then we'll get started with the turtles, right?
Okay.
Chocolate turtles. You said it'll probably take, it's a really quick dish, right?
5 minutes.
Who knew, right? And so the most expensive part with the turtles is probably just the pecans.
It's the caramel. Well, the most expensive part is the pecans, but it's boiling the can of milk to create the caramel so it can caramelize. But
if you want to make caramel in less than 20 minutes, you can always take regular white granulated sugar, and like, so if you do like a cup of white sugar and then like a half a cup of hot water, boil it in a pan, or a pot, I'm sorry. Don't stir it, just boil it. It'll start to caramelize, And as soon as it starts to get brown, you just start to kind of move it around. Again, do not stir it. You
I
add a boil.
recipe.
Okay.
1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream.
You can add that in to make it more creamy.
A half a cup of
Butter.
No.
Oh.
A half a cup of brown sugar and 1 stick of butter, and you just let it kind of cook and let the butter melt, and you add in the ingredients. You cook it for 2 minutes on high, and then you take it off and just let it sit there. And it caramelizes.
3 ways to make it. We have the condensed milk, right? Sweetened condensed milk. It takes a few hours, but you don't have to nurse it, right? You can just put it in the water, in a pot. She'll show you how we're going to do that. And then again, the water, sugar cooks by itself in less than 20 minutes. And you can also then add the butter and, like she said, the cream to make it more rich. And you can make like different types of caramel, meaning you can have like a blonde caramel or a darker caramel. And they have different tastes.
Sea salt to make sweet and salty.
Yeah, and the sea salt, because it takes away some of the sweetness of the caramel. 3 different ways. I got you. Lifestyle of a foodie, okay? So let's get started with the chocolate covered pecan, well, the turtles, chocolate caramel pecans. We're gonna finish our rice and finish our drinks, and okay. Okay, so Tamika has finished the caramel. Look how pretty it is. You want to make sure it gets like an amber color, which this is pretty much an amber color, yeah. Okay, and she's already like organized the pecans in little, what is this? What do you call it?
Can, I just put the pecans in a shape of a circle, but a lot of people put the pecans in the shape of a turtle. That's why they're called turtles. But you boil a can of sweet condensed milk for 3.5 to 4 hours. I do maybe 3.5 hours because it doesn't take that much time. And this is what you get.
Now, what did you say happened one time you made some caramel? Did you say?
Oh, last night I made some caramel and I was watching TV. I was deep in this show and it exploded all over my kitchen. So you have to watch this, and you have to keep putting water in the pot so it can boil. Okay.
So it actually exploded out of the can. The can wasn't open.
Oh, the can exploded, and if you sleep, it'll catch fire. So you have to keep watching it.
Okay, so we have 6 groups of pecans, and she says some people will put it in the shape of a turtle, which is why they call it turtle, but we just have groups, okay?
Yeah.
So you're gonna go ahead and let's see how this all works.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So you just scoop a little bit of caramel.
And this is a full can, right? Of caramel.
Yeah, this is 1 can.
So how many you think we can get out of? We did them smaller.
It depends on what size turtles you are trying to make, but
oh my goodness,
I just have fun with it because I like the caramel, I like the nuts, and I love the chocolate.
Now, I was thinking about adding like some pretzels, so that's an option to add pretzels instead of the pecans. Pretzels are obviously less expensive than pecans, so you know, that's an option.
You can use pecans, you can use almonds, you can use walnuts, whatever you prefer.
I don't want this to go to waste, so I think I'll save it for maybe some pretzels. Oh, okay. No, do you? No.
Oh no, that's enough because I have to put the chocolate sauce. It's kind of sloppy, but you drizzle.
It doesn't matter with this kind of treat.
It's sloppy, but once you freeze it.
Oh, do we have to freeze this?
Oh, I just put it in. You don't have to, but I put it in the freezer sometimes. I'm just being real.
I promise you that it's okay. Like, that is fine. Like, who's looking for a perfectly shaped turtle?
Exactly.
Like, that's not a thing.
But I put it in the freezer so it can harden and combine. And then I scrape it off of the paper.
And so we use half of a bark of chocolate. Again, this is a microwavable safe tray, but we can put it right over the stove. How long did it take for us to melt this?
Probably 2 or 3 minutes, depending on the stove.
And you see how we have 6 of them, so you can obviously make more. And you can use less chocolate, you can make them smaller, you can use pretzels, whatever you prefer. But I am so very excited about this Oh, and let's see what's happening now. And then we're gonna add it to the freezer. For how long did you say we need to?
Maybe 3 to 5 minutes. I left it in the freezer, but I actually made these and I gifted these to my siblings. Hey,
Yeah.
for Christmas.
Because you know we're all about
Yeah,
being on a budget.
Being on a budget, and I said, well, let me do something sentimental with the gift that I attached with it.
I love
And
this.
that's exactly what I did. And actually, they love my turtles more than they love the gift that was attached.
So I'm gonna go ahead and you'll freeze it, and I'll get started with the coffee. Okay. Okay, so to make this whipped coffee, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar, just regular white granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of hot water, and 2 tablespoons of espresso or instant coffee. So I am using espresso, and then we just have to whip it until the sugar dissolves, and we're gonna top it over. This is unsweetened almond milk. You can use whatever milk you prefer, soy milk, cow's milk, whatever you prefer. And then this just has a couple ice cubes. So again, this takes about 5 minutes to just get it whipped up really nice, and it'll be foamy and almost frothy. And we'll smell this.
Really
Yeah,
nice.
very simple. So however much sugar you use, you should use the same in water and the coffee. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get this all whipped up. Oh, those are perfect, perfect, perfect. I mean, you were concerned about
I
it being
just wanted it
messy.
to harden. I mean,
You can use obviously more sugar, and it should be hot water, and the espresso or instant coffee to get the desired amount. Look at that! I am so excited about this.
I mean, the caramel it hasn't hardened, but the chocolate has, and
So we're gonna go ahead and pour this all over and then mix it in really good. And like I mentioned before, you can always use more sugar, more of everything. It just all has to be the same part. But it's still pretty. Kind of reminds you of the pumpkin spice latte that I made. The taste is completely different. Completely. But it's just a cute way to drink some milk on ice. And we were talking about this earlier, how I used to love milk as a kid. Yeah.
I know.
It just processes differently in your body now.
Oh, it does.
This is kind of strong, huh? Because you taste a lot of the coffee.
Yeah, it hits you with a shot.
And that's the reason we got our turtles. Oh my gosh, I don't want to mess it up.
Go ahead and
Because-
mix it up. You only live once.
Oh my gosh. Look at the pecan. There.
The caramel, it's just,
Obviously, you can leave it as long as you need to, but
yeah.
this is really, really good though, Samika. I'm so thankful. I'm going to remove that whole piece and finish it off. And it just complements this skin. So we are going to go ahead, clean everything up. Tamika's going to show us how to make hand sanitizer.
And
So
if you can't find it in the store, you can make
Yeah.
it at home because
it's so
always
expensive too to buy in the
it's
store now.
expensive and it's never there.
That's true. So we're gonna go ahead and get everything cleaned up, get ready for our hand sanitizer. So now it's time for Tamika to show us how to make hand sanitizer from home.
Okay, so you want to take 91% alcohol. Anything less than this will not work. You have to use 91% or more. So you take 1/3 of the alcohol, okay?
You could just mix it in any mixing bowl.
Yeah, you use any mixing bowl, and you need a spoon to mix it.
You use a spoon. I'll grab you a spoon.
And you just pour it over aloe vera. You use 2/3 cup. But this is the spray sanitizer that we're making. But if you don't want the spray and you want the gel, you use 2/3 of this with the 1/3 of the alcohol. That's why I brought the gel, because
good
some
to
people
know.
may not like the spray. Okay, so that's all you use to make the sanitizer. I always add vitamin E for the moisture in your hands so it wouldn't dry your hands out. And I also use any kind of essential oil that you would like for smell and moisture. But you use 10 to 20 droplets of the essential oil or vitamin E. So I use 10 of the droplets.
That
Then I
makes sense.
use 10 of the essential oils. This is lavender because I like the smell.
That's kind of neat. You can have multiple
Different
bottles of
smells,
different
'cause-
scents. Yeah.
Okay, so if you use the aloe vera gel, then you put it in these bottles. But if you make the spray sanitizer, then I put it in a bottle that you can spray your hands. So I put it in a bottle, and it's so convenient. I keep it in my car when I go in and out of the stores. Before I take my mask off, I spray my hands. It's just something in between of washing, but we know washing your hands is most important.
Yeah, I mean, because the gel is a little thicker, so you do need to have something that you can kind of squirt it out. Let's try it. It smells clean. Like, I am so impressed because I don't have to use bleach on my hands.
And once again, you can use any essential oil that you would like according to the smell. Some people don't like lavender. They can use other smells that they will like, but the most important thing about the essential oils and the vitamin E is it moisturizes your hands while keeping it clean.
So let's thank Tamika, my cousin, for coming out and showing us how to make turtles, hand sanitizer, and I hope you enjoyed the rice.
I really did. It was really delicious.
So we will see you guys next week with Lifestyle of a Foodie only on Taste on TV.